Hi, and thank you for being our conductor over the last few months. It's been wonderful having you. What would you say to people that are interested in coming to join Monash Chorale? How would you encourage them?
I would encourage them. I'd say they're very friendly, very supportive of each other, to sing some lovely music along with in a four-part setting, whether it be accompanied or unaccompanied, yes, which I think is always a wonderful thing to do.
You've chosen some wonderful pieces for the concert in June. What are your thoughts behind choosing such pieces?
Well, I kind of sat down and went through my favourite of favourite pieces. I've always wanted to do Zadok the Priest. What was the other one? And Cantique de Jean Racine is another one of my all-time favourites. The fact that we've been doing the Gloria, again, I've done various movements, but I've never done the whole work, and I think to do a whole work is really quite special. And so then to put in the Ave Verum Corpus, again, that was my first piece I learned as a chorister at the age of 9. And I often look back to that experience, and I think it's wonderful for other people to have that experience too. And to actually be able to conduct these pieces, having sung them and had them in my heart for so long, it's lovely to be able to transfer that and have the answer back from the choir.
The choir is a community choir and of course has a large range of talent and experience. How do you manage such a group comprising such wide diversity of talent?
Well, again, I think back to my early days in Melbourne Chorale, and again, it's always a diverse group of people from all sorts of interests, and I think, again, that's what I love. Even in America when I was studying, the students that came in were the same situation. Some were opera singers, some were just students who wanted to sign up to sing for a term to get a credit. So I think the diversity is what makes it, in actual fact. The energy that comes, there's always a couple of people that lead each section. I think the camaraderie in the group, and I really do think, I can't speak highly enough about these sectionals and Zoom. I've never been in a choir that's had that opportunity, and even though the pandemic was really taxing on us, the fact that we could sit and listen week by week and actually work on the sections, I think that's really been quite a catch to be able to do that and then come back. I also think the distancing has been good because it's actually encouraged people to learn to project a little bit more rather than sitting sort of shoulder to shoulder. I just think everybody's been so positive. It's been great. Maybe it's the music too.
Many of our singers are retired and they have ageing voices. How do you advise people to cope in a situation like that?
Well, again, I think it's a case of lubrication and looking after and exercising the voice appropriately. Again, while we do some of the warm-ups that we do, focusing on breathing and posture, etc. The funny old phrase, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. And I think the thing is, again, picking possibly repertoire that helps the voice, develops the voice in the range, helps sustain the voice. Being comfortable in those ranges and knowing when they can give full voice and when they have to hold back. It's a little bit of both. But I think given the sections we've got, there's good support and there's good vocal support that helps all of that. But yeah, I think it's practice and listening and...
Right, good. You've been involved with choral singing for many years. Can you tell us a few of your magical experiences while singing and conducting?
Well, that one I was saying about with the Ave Verum Corpus at the age of 9, I've been sort of meditating on that. I come back to that a couple of times because it was such an amazing experience as a 9-year-old, standing among all these voices. I only just been learning piano for a couple of years. I knew how to read the music, but it was another thing to actually work out the parts and hear all the other parts against, because usually I'm mostly saying, what would you say, little folk songs and things like that. So to have to work at something like that, and then each time I've sung it, it's sort of like I know it a bit better, and I know it a bit better. And then as I became a better singer, I could sing it better, and that. I guess two others I'll mention. One was singing the St Matthew Passion in Grace Cathedral when I was over in America studying. But those two really have stayed with me.
You've been a choral conductor for many years with a great deal of experience. When looking at Monash Chorale, what would you describe the strengths and weaknesses of the choir?
It's a wonderful group of adults who love their singing. When I first started, it was getting to know the sound and the voices and what the voices were able to do, and creating exercises that help to establish that. And they're exercises that I've had over the years that take a while to establish. And then I think being able to sing the Christmas concert was just a lovely, lovely opportunity. And that sort of really was the establishment I felt of where I was with the choir. So the balance was starting to establish itself. The voices, some of the placement of the voices, I think that was a new experience for some of the singers that perhaps they hadn't had before. And so then, as I say, then we came into this year and we had more lockdown. We had more lockdown last year, didn't we? But to be able to work at those things, I think that's been a real plus. So I think that's been a real strength. And also to change over from one style to another, I think that's been a real plus. And now we're sort of getting into the refinement for our concert. So that's really exciting.
Following this June concert, we'll have our concert in December, our Christmas concert. What are your thoughts about what we would sing in December?
I thought it would be nice actually to do maybe 3 or 4 choruses from Messiah, to have that as a balance with the actual carols, and maybe some secular carols as well.
Good. Looking forward to that.
So a little bit of a mix.
Love it. Thank you very much for your time.
That's all right. My pleasure.